Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to Leadership Lessons with Cheri. I'm super excited to see you back this week, and hopefully, you've been getting through each of the episodes and they're giving you just a little bit that's helping you become the best leader, the one that you were born to be. I do really, really think leadership is such an important role and responsibility. And if I can just have a little impact on the work that you do in the future, well, then I'm accomplishing and fulfilling my goals and mission in life. So let's get started with this week's conversation. I want to talk to you this week about acknowledging achievements. I remember times when I first became a leader, and even as an experienced leader, we start working down a path, going toward big goals, big dreams, really thinking things through. And I would tend to get this tunnel vision. I don't know about the rest of you, but I would find myself so focused on the goal, so zoomed in that sometimes I would forget to stop and look around and see all the other things that were going on that were contributing to this issue or this incident or this achievement. And I really had to purposefully remind myself that sometimes I need to find the good things people are doing and acknowledge them for it. Because we all go into our careers fulfilling some kind of purpose for ourselves, right? And maybe it's money, maybe it's time flexibility or schedule flexibility, maybe it's to be appreciated. And we have to really know our staff, our employees, our clients, our customers, and we have to understand that piece about them so that we can continue to keep them motivated to keep moving forward. So let me give you an example. Our job is there's so many facets to it, right? So many pieces. We need to make sure that we're building the goals, we're creating the action plans, we are hiring the right people, we are guiding, I'm going to use that word, guiding the right people to do the work. And sometimes that requires monitoring, it requires questioning, it requires coaching, it requires what's going on here kind of conversations, right? And we know that those have to happen because those are blatantly visible, right? You just know, oh, something's going wrong. I need to stop and I need to recognize that. However, when things are going well, we're all going forward, right? We're like, woohoo, we're moving forward. Things are going great. And that's when I think we forget that we have to then step back and look for the things that are going well and recognize people for them. I think about myself as an employee. When I was a teacher in the classroom, what lit me up, I knew I wasn't going to get a huge paycheck. I knew that I wasn't going to get any additional time off. I already knew what my schedule was going to look like. But what made me motivated to keep going, empowered me to know that I was doing a good job with the students, was when my supervisors gave me feedback, positive feedback, recognized when I was doing something well. And I also know that something that really made me stop and go, uh-oh, I did something wrong, was when they gave me the other kind of feedback. And it really kind of shut me down a little bit. I didn't have a lot of that, but I remember my first year of teaching, I was struggling. I was making a lot of transitions in my life, plus going into a new career, and I didn't know what I was doing. And I wasn't fully prepared for what was needed. And I didn't get any type of recognition that year. I got a whole lot of, you're doing this wrong. You're doing this wrong. You should not do this. I need to hear this. And I remember how that made me feel. Pretty defeated, actually. And when I would do something right, I had the feel that nobody recognized it. Nobody saw that. When I did have a student who made a great aha moment, or test scores started to look good, or a parent thanked me for the work I was doing with their child, nobody acknowledged that. It was just, you're doing this wrong, you're doing this wrong, and you're doing this wrong. And I felt really defeated in the way that I have said before. I don't know if I've ever shared it here, but I was ready to quit. I didn't care that I had a contract that I signed. I wanted to quit and never return. And actually quit the whole teaching profession in general, which is what I spent the multiple tens of thousands of dollars at the time in 1995 to get my degree in. So much time, so much blood, sweat, and tears. And it just takes that little nugget. And recognition is free. You don't have to pay for anything. It doesn't cost you anything. But that little piece is very, very important. Now, having said that, I mentioned just a minute ago that you really have to know your employees. You have to know your clients, your customers, whoever it is you're recognizing, because I also believe that you have to fit your recognition to what lights them up, what keeps them empowered to keep moving forward. For some people, I learned quickly, public recognition was all they needed. If I stood in front of my staff whenever we had our faculty meetings and said, oh my gosh, have you seen they're doing these things, it lit them up, and I would see just continued success from them. But there was always employee number 7 that if I would have stood up in front of the entire crowd and started recognizing number 7 for some things that they had done, it actually was going to shut number 7 down. They would say thankful and they would be grateful, or they would say thank you and they would be grateful, but it wasn't something that kept them moving forward. However, if number 7 received a little note from me or a little card from me privately, or I stopped by their classroom just one-on-one individually and intentionally had a conversation about it, then I knew I was breeding that success and I was going to continue to see success in the future. So know your people and know what kind of recognition really works for them. The other thing that I think you have to really remember is that your good employees, your good people, your people that you trust in and out every single day, that you pile things on them because you know it's going to get done and it's going to get done in the manner that you need it to get done, we forget to recognize them. They're the ones that they're just plugging along. They're just doing the right thing. We don't have to give them a lot of extra attention, a lot of extra support. And sometimes they get lost in that. A supervisor a few years ago challenged all of us principals with this activity. When you do contract recommendations this year, make sure you're meeting with every single person. And those that you typically don't get to in the year because they just keep doing the right thing and you never have to worry about them, give them a write-up and make the write-up about all or a few of the positive things they're doing. I tried that with a few of my people. And I'm telling you, it made a huge difference. I think the other big thing about your good employees is when you can find the right kind of feedback to give them. One thing that I really focused on this last year was just that. My superstar teachers, the ones that I never had to worry about, when I would meet with them about their evaluations, typically I would say, you're doing a great job. Keep doing what you're doing. What do you need from me? But this year, I specifically found something. And I would say, okay, Miss Dixon, you are scoring within this range on this type of thing, but I'd like to see you get to the very top. Let's talk about ways to get you to that top. Not only did it validate they're already doing a great job, but it showed them that I am seeing things that could definitely move the needle to help them be their very best. I got a lot of positive feedback from that. Again, you have to know your people. For some people, that might not work. They may turn around and say, oh, she's just always trying to find something that I'm not doing right. That was not the intent at all, but you have to know your people. You can do it with some, and you will not be able to do it with others. Now, of course, we all know that a great paycheck is going to be great motivation to keep moving forward. But sometimes it's not a possibility to be able to give these big raises or to increase someone's pay in any kind of manner because of policies and procedures. That's how we were in the school building. I didn't get to control anybody's salary. I didn't get to control bonuses, rewards, anything like that. So if you're ever in a place like that, finding the great places where you can recognize what people are doing to keep them moving forward and feel like they're being seen, and just know that you appreciate them for all the hard work that they do. That's super important, guys. And I'm telling you, as a leader, it's an easy thing to do that doesn't cost you a single dime in some aspects, but can really go a long way when you're trying to move the needle. And it really does not only just make them feel better, but they're going to get on board with you. And they're going to do whatever they can in the future, knowing that you're genuine about it, to help you take those steps forward to accomplish your mission and your vision for your organization. All right, y'all. Hopefully this was a good little session. Nice, short and sweet. That's how we like them. But make sure you come back next week for Leadership Lessons with Cheri, and I will see you soon.